Good morning, everybody. All right, so I figured I'd start with internals since we got a caution. I don't want to use the word sell, but whatever. Be careful. Longs are going to get more risky, which would make sense. Hold on here. This Zoom thing, geez, so many things. I hate what they did. Yeah. I'm going to put the charts up. Did I put them up already? Share. So, okay. So sentiment got to an extreme up here after that explosive move off on the election. Um, but breadth was still below here. Now we got them in agreement. Sentiment has gotten further extreme. This is the total put call ratio. This is the equity put call ratio. That certainly doesn't mean that anything has to drop today. And I'm pretty sure it won't. Day before the holiday, people leaving probably left or will be leaving probably after a couple of hours. Um, while the SPX advanced a bit yesterday, breadth was negative. So there's an underlying piece of information. Look under the hood. I wouldn't read too much into it other than, you know, pre-holiday volumes. But anyway, whatever was moving around, it didn't move very much. It was an inside day. And, as we not looked, but said yesterday, the title on the intro slide was, will it be an RBI day? Red bar ignored. It was. It was a red bar ignored, which is bullish confirmation that, the trend maintains to be bullish. So an red bar ignored day is just, you know, a view as to a bullish bias on a single day for that kind of confirmation. Ultimately, to change, a bias, it would have to come all the way back down here, and just breaking it would be a very clear, because this is what we call major support. Um, the low prior to a higher high. And that's a little closing new all-time high marginally. And prices are relatively unchanged here today. You can see them rolling over a little bit, not a big deal as they come up to resistance. Um, when sentiment, being up where it is, odds are we're getting close. So, we come back on Friday, typically, that's a half a day. Typically, even if it gaps down, it's going to get bought. And, it's usually a positive day. So seasonality, these internal gauges are something to think about as far as, what's going to probably happen here in the next week or so. We'll probably get some corrective price action and should set up, I suppose, a little rally into the end of the year. Okay. I'm just again spiders here. Yesterday rattled around, come up to the resistance area, and then it came down to support. Um, and so now on a short-term basis, you see 600. I'm going to look at SPX. Doesn't always line up exactly. Let's just see here. See, 6,000 is down below here, but this expiring today this is the largest call strike of open interest. And so these are profitable options. And it's below at the money, which is 6,025.42. You can see the number right there. So what does that mean? Well, what it means is think about you being long XYZ, and this was your entry point, and you see prices beginning to come down, and maybe you got a break even stop. And so if it goes down below there, and it is close to yesterday's low, somebody's going to hit the bid. It's like, well, why can't I get turned into a loser? Especially with these leveraged instruments, you could go from having a nicely profitable trade to all of a sudden it becoming a very nasty loser. And so if we look at 6,000 calls, that's worth $20. You turn that into a loser, you got to be an idiot. So keep it in mind. We'll see. Doesn't mean it's going down there, but for today, it's a reference point that should not be violated. It could cause a little bit of a more movement down, and it would be the break of a green bar's low. So valuable information. Those are the strikes. Yesterday I said they were really too close, and the top one almost got hit. But if you're just watching what's going on, as things move up, I'm sure there was some premium up above. So the top one there is, well, no, it's not 22, 23. So I must have moved something there. Just moving things around. Things are moving around a little bit. It came down a lot. You always got to look at these things, so like a starting point. Let's call it 65. Yeah, it came down. Okay. You always got to look at these things and, just for the open. Okay, that's better. So that's decently below this 6,000 strike, below yesterday's low, and it's near that low and the top of this little range right there. Let me just line that up. Yeah, is that pivot there. Something would have to get out of hand to drive it down there today. So that should be good. It should be a no-brainer. And I think they'll still look to buy any dips. And gonna get up there today? Just an opinion. I don't think so, but who the hell? You don't know. If the strike was at 50 or better, I would like that. But I don't, I think today's, after the first couple of hours, things are probably going to get real quiet, not do much of anything. All right, I just adjusted that, Don. You're typing to me in social media. All right, looking around, the Qs, red bar ignored, was an inside day, going nowhere. The industrials made a new high. So something in, and what I like about this chart, when you see an uptrend, right? Of course, what's an uptrend? Higher highs and higher lows, black and white. We'll see where this gets a red bar or whether it turns down. But within an uptrend, and this is more kind of an exaggerated, but it's a great example of what you want to see. So here's your prior high. This is your assumed turning point at the 50 MA. And why do I assume that? Well, you got a red bar poked down, you got a green bar up, and this was the day before the election results. So we're not taking into consideration, news, but uptrend. And that's a dip. It's not even really a pullback, but anyway, boom. It explodes above the prior high. That gives it a lot of room to pull back to what we call minor support. That's an ideal pullback into an area. What was resistance becomes support versus looking at something where, this is not a great example, but it's kind of, I guess, good in that you have an explosive move and then it barely takes out the high. Momentum is slowing. Momentum increased. And so this is the essence of what we call master trader technical strategies, is that observing price action without indicators guide you to what is really happening. just by looking at price. You don't need squiggly lines and hocus pocus stuffs down here. Just understand, oh, momentum is increasing. You should pullback should be buyable. Momentum increasing, pullback should be buyable. Did pullback violate major support? Yes, it did. That violates the trend. Don't need trend lines. It's at the 50. Will they step up here? Again, news related thing, but bar by bar analysis. What's the trend? Multiple time frames. Everything that we cover in MT Live. And of course, in greater detail in the courses. All right. Interest rates. Moving down a little bit. That's a good thing. Got the reversal on that news about one of his cabinet picks. Market liked it. So this is moving lower. That's helpful for the markets, but they're not really doing too much. They're on this pivot low. We always look to the left. Transports look great. They exceeded the prior high. It was a stall day, not a big deal, but a wide range bar after greater than 100% retracement. The expectation is that it'll stall. Doesn't violate the trend. Explosive move, pullback. So, what we call the factory work. Bitcoin came down yesterday. Where did it come down to? What we covered pre-market yesterday. Look to the left. So yesterday I spoke about these pivot lows. I said this is obviously the most significant area, but this being a whole number, this is where buyers should initially come in. That's where it stopped yesterday. They came in, and now it's at resistance. Right? Not a significant resistance, but resistance nonetheless. Related to our intraday pivot highs on a 65-minute chart. 5-minute chart, still in an uptrend. A little bit of a stall, no big deal. And if you're going to trade, if you were trading this, you see this is a little breakout. So breaking down, if this was an inside bar and then it trades below that, you'd have a breakout bar failure, which is the beginnings of a turn. Ultimately, if it breaks down below 65,000, that'll probably get some movement to the downside. Now, of course, this is extended on the daily time frame. We don't even know that this is going to close like this, but there's your little support area and resistance area. And if you're trading Bitcoin related stocks or GBTC, keeping an eye on this would be helpful. All right, Dow, new day, momentum is stalling, small candle body, momentum stalls after a move up, holidays coming, NQ's down a little bit. Last week we talked about this kind of odd pattern, as I called it, kind of looked like a bearish flag. It was this day, and I spoke about if it trades under Thursday's low, look out below. Well, it never happened. Just kind of grinding up because tech is underperforming. Semiconductors, some of them look pretty bad. Some things look still pretty good. So there was a bottoming tail bar yesterday. We'll see if this can pick up some steam to the upside. If it breaks the bottoming tail bar, you can see the cursor on the 65-minute chart. That would increase some selling. S&Ps, grinder, bottoming tail bar. And so when you see a little bit, a range expansion bottoming tail bar, let's say you were long from here. Where do I raise my stop? Well, you could go with, this is a pivot, right? As it's moving up, as the ranges expand, it's creating voids intraday, and they become, especially a bottoming tail bar, it becomes a reference point where they bought the dip. So when we look at charts, it's really not about a bottoming tail bar or a dark cloud cover or a haramizer with all that. It's about understanding what other traders are doing. Traders bought the dip. It stalled. There was indecision. They bought the dip. So it went up. If it breaks below that, common sense says that somebody is now holding a loser and somebody's going to probably hit the bid. Okay, where's it going to go? Well, if it comes all the way down there, You've got other support here, so it could be choppy, but it's up at this area of resistance, and it would be negating this bar. So bar by bar analysis gives us a guide as to what others are doing, what they're thinking. You've got your Russell here consolidating, and this is a picture of slowing momentum, but it hasn't closed under a prior day's low yet. They bought the dip again as it dipped down. So far, trading inside day. You've got all of these pivots here. Bring that up under that bar. And so slowing momentum, distance between highs, right? That's an explosion. This breaks here. Yeah, the 20 MA is right there. You got these lows right there. Is it going to happen today? I probably would think not. Right, gold, it's a mess. Right? We're looking for the turn down here. Why? Because of the congestion. Popped up, came into resistance. It's a pattern as far as the daily goes, just stay away from. Crude oil holding its own. Big question is, does it violate this support in the coming weeks? I've seen patterns like this turn around, but Trump saying he's going to open up the spigots and frag and you know start selling crude oil. If there's all that supply coming online, demand has to increase, and we've got to drive the price down. Yeah, exactly, Robert. We shall see. Talk is cheap. We all want to believe it because the last 4 years, they didn't talk. They effed us good, right? And he's still doing it on his way out. So, all right, let's be happy. Thanksgiving, right? What do we have to be grateful for? We have to be grateful for a lot of things besides Washington, right? Anyway, silver, wide range bar down, is consolidating here. If it breaks these lows, it's likely going down into this area. And I'll just look at SMH before I turn it over to Dan. And I'll look at financials too. It had kind of a nasty day yesterday. And, it looks like it's going to break down here. And if you look at some of the stocks, they don't look so great. The leader or the best one, NVIDIA, and it stopped at the 50. And so it can't get off the mat here pre-market. It's just kind of grinding its way lower. But, I would set an alert above that high. If it got above there, we could have some sparks. Other fangs look pretty good. Microsoft did well yesterday. Google looked like it was going to go up. Apple was looking pretty good. So I had mentioned we need to see those start to pick up some steam to get the Qs, but the Qs didn't do so well, but at least they didn't break down. That was the whole idea of, the fangs underperforming and the equal weighting, continue to go up and made a new high. And financials dipped yesterday. They looked like they were going to crack, but it formed a bottoming tail bar. So the dip got bought. So there you go. See what today brings. I don't suspect it's going to bring a whole heck of a lot, but that's okay. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Good morning. Rocker, you're always so nice. Thanks. Yeah, Microsoft ripped yesterday. Let's see. I always look at my Dow 30. What's the most up and down? That's where I just noticed cream. Microsoft down a little, but no problem. Look at that explosive move yesterday. Wow. Yeah, we'll look at them all. But look at cream here. Greg mentioned this yesterday, set an alarm under Monday's low. Reversal at resistance. Now, you know, many times some of these can be bullish consolidation. So it's not an M top. We call it potential M top until we get a confident reversal. And so now it's confident. It's, you know, trading under here with a bearish gap. So that's a beautiful call spread. If there's any juice up here, 350. I only have one alarm going off. So yeah, things are very quiet. And we had that PCE, which turned out to be a yawner. Look at this LX. This was an earnings trade yesterday, and it is the only new trade we gave yesterday. We were that selective, and you know, it's because of there weren't any great new setups with the markets up so much of resistance. But we sold a third yesterday. My target was 445. I said sell another third, 447 pre-market, which is already 9 cents higher. So that's a good sign. Let's go to earnings here and another interest list. PGR. I'm sorry, I ran 1040. Gapping right to resistance, no interest. I mean, this was a beautiful 1, 2, 3, but for yesterday, and but for earnings. So that got no interest. And there's a number of NASDAQ stocks here gapping down, which is fine. There's more weakness in the Qs pre-market. Hewlett Packard 30s, that's a nasty gap. Otherwise, it was bullish daily, weekly, monthly. So Dell 124, nasty gap, but it's approaching the 200. I have no idea where it's going to go. But I'm going to put this in a window. It could be a 2 DTE or 30-minute high if buyers step up. Crowd, yeah, that you know, that was a bearish gap. That's recovering, so no pattern now. NTNX 77, bullish gap. It's a buy on a pullback. Nordstrom 2340. Condor, if you can get any juice up here, 25s and 22s, Condor idea. Urban 4560. Wow, that's an excessive gap. That's huge. Call spread, if there's any premium, 30-minute low. Workday 230. All right, this one I like. Workday. I have it in the middle chart here. 30-minute high put spread. That's, you know, I just call that an excessive gap to major support. Let's see what it does. Autodesk. You know, it's a Wall Street favorite. I'm going to put that in the window. And they're so easy to watch in the first half hour. Let's see, to measure the bullishness or lack thereof at these lower prices. Papa Delta open kind of flat, no pattern. AMBA. Now this one I posted as a gap and crap. It's gapping up 12 bucks after running into earnings far from the 20. So this is a textbook gap and crapper. Now look, it's already fallen $3-4. Gap and crappers or gap and snappers, you know, on the bullish side. The bigger the gap, the better, because it's just that stretched rubber band. So I got amber here in the bottom right, AMBA. I mean, I was pounding the table yesterday in the green room that I was so mad I missed this on this gap breakout from this 1, 2, 3. Because look at the weekly, monthly. That would have been a core long. That looks fantastic. But nothing, you know, it's nothing I can do now. Yeah, so yeah, it's worth watching. Gas $16, bearish gap, the prior low, will come back. YY 37, bullish gap at the resistance. YXT, I don't know, $3 junk stock. Pro, bearish gap, nasty downtrend, daily, weekly, monthly. Goggle, $10, nasty gap, but looks horrible, no interest. Alex is telling me EEM. Yeah, I had an alarm on this. Why don't I see? Did my alarm go off? Nah, I actually took it out for some reason. I deleted it yesterday and it started breaking down. It's not a textbook W bottom because we didn't get the enough up here. But gap and resistance, yeah, 30-minute high. Target maybe on the gap fill there. Other stocks of interest. I got BA and LDOS, same sector. I got alarms. These are military contractors. They stabilize and there's still a big void. Oh, that's just regional banks. I had an alarm go off on Charter. Yeah, I had 393. I don't see any prints though. You know, it's a little dicey because it's kind of a pattern. You could trade up or down, but you give the benefit of the doubt to up because it's bullish weekly, monthly. Reddit, I've been watching for a call spread, but you just can't get a good credit is the problem. Same with coin. Coin under yesterday's low, I have an alarm at 295. We'll consider a call spread. TRGP, a bear 123, but in an uptrend. There's no weeklies on this, so you can't do a call spread, but day trade short. Mitter, I like this core long. It's not a great entry at all on the daily, up so much, two topping tails. You know what I said, buy a half lot around current prices. Let me change that. Let's see if we can get a pullback instead. Hold on. How about let's try 480. I actually was bidding for it a little pre-market, but did not get filled. So let me change it. We're gonna change that order. Alarms, VTR. All right, shoot. This was a short we did here. Sell set up yesterday. I said it was on probation, and that's stopping out. Q's nasty 5-minute bar, even though it's less than a minute. The tick goes over 1,000. AD line 1375, so significantly better than yesterday, where the AD line is negative all friggin' day. KMI was similar to this TRGP 123. Day trade short watch, BA alarm. I had it 150. This could be a nice 30-minute high, workday bouncing. Look, both of these charts are going in the direction that I wanted. Buyers stepped up on workday and selling's continuing on the gap and crapper. So workday, how low can I go? 235. There's a lot of juice. The problem is the spreads. Greg, the 230s right now, we can hit naked for 80 cents if you want for Friday, but it's, only 932. All right, let's watch it here. But that's what I'm going to consider. All right, Amba. See, I wish it opened up there at 83, because then we could get further away. Let me check now. 85, 15 cents by 220. So the spreads are preposterous. Let's see if workday holds. ACHC. Greg, what do you think? Are you there? Bottoming pattern. Q's the weakest, as we said, pre-market. Diamonds IWN flying here.
Fine, you mean
Wow.
IWM is up, Qs are down, spiders are down a little, bouncing around. I mean, IWM's rallied up into resistance. What do you want? What did you want to do? This bottoming stock?
Yeah, ACHC. What do you think?
Bottoming stocks in me. I mean, it's kind of a grinder up.
And I also said workday 230s or 80. Naked.
Workday. AFIT. What?
Now it's 50 by 80, so we already lost the 80.
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't have. I had walked away for a second. I wouldn't have. I would have think to done that immediately, gapping down that far to support to get back above 280 in 2 days. I
What do
think
you
slim to none chance of that.
what do you mean back above 280? No, no, I was shorting the 230s.
Oh, no, I wouldn't be willing to do that. I mean,
No.
for if it was a zero DTE,
Right. Yeah, it'd be a no-brainer then, but no, you had 280s. I would have done also without asking. No, it's the 230s. All right, Starbucks alarm. So we bought the back half. Q's still weak here. They're at the gap fill, but the momentum suggests it's going lower.
my charts are up for those that want to look. You have a tab at the top of the Zoom thing. Those green lines are pre-market support. You can see the Qs are into that and yesterday's gap.
Yeah, those are the alarms. Let me reset bar. Hit that. I mean, look at these candlesticks. It gets rejected there at around 150 every time. So I'm just gonna set it again. This TMF, nice gap breakout. This we're long this in the ETF letter. Ring, here's my core long that Greg and Alex are going to lose $50 each to me.
I don't think so. You won't make it past 2 weeks.
We can make it 100 if you want.
All right. You might be holding a loser, just $100. HON. That could be a continuation, little breakout intraday, gapped above to the high of a red bar.
Yep, totally. Totally. Yep, that's a nice, yep, continuation. Yep, that's this thing again, bottoming pattern.
Team isn't bad. That looks like I look at it in two ways. Look at team. I look at, a little extended in the rejection on the topping tail bar, but the 65-minute and the 15 and 5 suggests it could go up. It's just hanging here. I'd wait a little bit. But if that can 15-minute bar closes green, I think that's going to be pretty good. And if it breaks the lows, obviously it's got the potential to go down there, but you know, keep an eye on that.
Got a cream call spread. 345s, let there be juice. Unless you want to go out to next week, Greg.
No, I don't.
No juice at all for Friday. Yeah, Sam, we're in this already from Monday. My alarm went off and I set new alarms. EEM, I'll set an alarm.
Netflix breaks that wide range bar. Still got that call spread.
No, I told you we're flat. We took the money on the same day. Unless you want to go out to next week.
It's holiday. I mean, that's just my personal thing. People can do whatever. I'm just thinking, with the holiday, why you want to be thinking about a credit spread that could rip your head off.
Our LX up alarm. Let's tighten the stop now. 417.
Take two. I set an alert under yesterday's low. That could be a call spread. TTWO.
Yeah, but it's just, same thing. Do you want to hold? So, I mean, It sounds like you just don't want to give any new trades till Friday, which is fine. Or are you giving me ideas for Friday?
Giving you ideas, you could do it whatever you want, of course.
Yeah, the spreads 31 by 80 naked.
I just brought up MAR, but the spreads are retarded too. 75 by $3.60. They don't want to play either. They want to go home. AZN, if you're a day trader, taking out a little consolidation, beating down stock.
Yeah, yeah, it's a kind of a pseudo inverse head and shoulder. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking out right now. Sure. I like it. Yeah, and Honeywell's middle chart, that'd be a great 30-minute high if it can hang in here for a few more minutes. But yeah, that's a beautiful bottoming pattern. Look at NFE. That's breakout daily, weekly, full screen. Yeah, climb all major support. I like it. That's multiple time frame and intelligent entry. I like them. What is this? Oil utilities 3.6. Yeah, let's do it. Buy it here. Stop yesterday's low. I like it. Cenex up alarm triggering. Check out all options here too. 4-cent spread. Yeah, spreads are retarded for call options. 60 by 135. Okay, all right, let's get a better price here. TRGP. Again, I have early alarms, but that's a 1, 2, 3. All right, let me see if I can bid here. It's 5-cent spread, which is big. All right, I'm just gonna bid 1023 right here. But like I'm watching a level one. This was a trick, this is how you traded in the old days. You watch them, the supply or demand drive it up or down. And the level one's trying to stabilize right here. And I'm gonna bid. Yeah, it's fine right here. Screwing around.
Dr. Pepper sell setup, KDP at resistance in a downtrend. Gapped up and got hit.
PCE numbers at 10? I thought that was at 8:30. That's why I made the comment. It was a big yawner. All right, that was totally wrong then. Okay, okay, right. Okay, so it was Patrick pre-market. That's what Alex says. I've never heard of PCE coming out at 10. All right, so I was, I don't know. I don't know. Right, NFA look great. So Dell is having problems. Well, it did go lower. 30-minute high, actually. We'll be bouncing on support in the 200, but right now it's a big iffy. No juice for Friday. Cream, new low. That could have been a good day trade too. 5-minute low.
Not the best, Alex. It's downtrend and all. That pivot isn't too far away. And the 5 minute popped up, so I guess it would have to come all the way back down. But of course it would to trigger. If it came back down there, it'd look different. So yeah, Qs are hovering on somewhat substantial support intraday. No, no. Nikki's daughter, which is my daughter, she was here for that election time for about 10 days in my tour up north. Q's breaking low of the day here. I think if whoever was going to fly should be probably at the airport now.
Yeah, 15-minute low, 5-minute low, whatever. It cracked yesterday's base.